Ray Markowitz grew up in South Buffalo in a Polish family. He spoke the language and was very proud of his heritage. Ray was a South Park High School teen who, according to his family, began his radio career around the age of 15 in the 1960s. On air, Ray was known as Ray Marks. In 1963, Ray worked at WCGR in Canandaigua. At just the age of 20, he served as program director at WLSV. Later, he worked at WABY in Albany, hosting an all-night program. Ray went on to serve as news director at WJTN in Jamestown, WGR, and WBEN. Ray always had a great sense of humor and wanted everyone to laugh in the newsroom. It helped to lighten the load of stressful news days.
Ray Marks was somebody very special. A newsman, serious about that. But the beauty of Ray Marks was he didn't take himself too seriously. But Ray was the perfect guy to be in at WGR Radio when they made the transition from a music station to being a news station and a talk station. I was very happy to have called Ray a friend of mine. He was running news while I was running sports. He did a much better job at his area than I did at mine. But congratulations to Ray Marks. I can't think of a more deserving candidate. I do wish he could be alive to accept it.
Ray also served at other radio stations through the years in his broadcast career, including WYSL, WPHD, and WGRQ. He also had a stint in television, once serving as a producer and assignment editor at WIVB. Ray was also an adjunct professor at St. Bonaventure University, Buffalo State, and Medaille College, teaching broadcasting and speaking. Ray also served as a great mentor to many students who were in internship programs or other young generations of broadcasters, helping to guide them at the start of their broadcasting careers.
Ray and I were such very, very good friends from the very beginning. We didn't start at GR together. We actually started at WYSL together. And we both came over around the same time, and we always conversed about what he was doing in news, what I was doing as a jock. I was the music director at the time, and he'd comment on the music, and I'd comment on the news. But Ray, I can tell you, there were three great news people that I worked with. I mean, there were a lot of great news people, but Ray was one of three. One was Jim McLaughlin, one was John Zach, and the other was Ray Marks. And they were all fantastic, but Ray, very special with me in my mind, and we talked constantly on the phone. He was always commenting on what was going out in Angola, because he was teaching a lot of disabled servicemen how to fish. And that translated back into radio, because he was always teaching young people the business, and so many of them went on to so many other things. And there were a lot of young ladies who started out in radio with Ray, and one in particular that I remember was Emily Smith, and went on to go to CBS in New York, so she learned well. I'm pretty sure with Ray Marks that Ray would be absolutely thrilled to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. He would be humbled by the whole experience, knowing the people who have gone in there before him, and I think it's a very fitting thing for Ray, but he would be excited.
And along with his passion for broadcasting, Ray had an incredible love and devotion for the outdoors, environment, and Lake Erie. He was an avid fly fisherman and served as a local liaison for the Veterans Administration's Healing Waters Project, teaching wounded vets how to fly fish as a therapeutic setting.
Lake Erie was number one for Ray. He had a vision probably 30 years ago that the lake would be a great draw for tourists, a fishing mecca. And he would go out on his rowboat, occasionally take us out. And when he was producing, whether he was producing or on the assignment desk at Channel 4, he would always want to do a story on the lake. He would always push for it and lobby for it. And I'm glad that he lived long enough to see that actually happen, to see his vision come true. And as we know, the waterfront is just something else now.
Then in 2013, Ray began a courageous battle with leukemia that he shared publicly. He held court with a microphone at his own benefit before receiving a bone marrow transplant. His benefit drew a huge crowd of broadcasters from radio and television, and many friends and family members, showing how loved Ray was to his broadcast and local community. Mayor Byron Brown even offered a proclamation declaring it Ray Marks Day. Everyone had a great Ray story to tell. Sadly, Ray died at the age of 70 in February of 2015 at Roswell Park Cancer Institute. Ray's son David wrote, his father's love of radio, and specifically unbiased news, was at his heart. He knew how important it was to have unbiased news to the health of the country and democracy. Ray Marks, we salute the great memory of your broadcast work as you are inducted into the Buffalo Broadcasters Hall of Fame.